So you're here because you love watching poor anime protagonists getting kicked out because they seem like weak losers with no hope. Well, let me tell you though, the surprise twist you probably never even saw coming, or let's be honest, it's kinda obvious, but they are actually overpowered beings, capable of so much more that others couldn't even see at first sight. So today, I'll be going through anime recommendations that cover kicked out main characters that are overpowered. Sit back and enjoy the ride.
Incredible. Although he is missing the point of the exercise. You failed to dismantle the traps.
I'll be starting out with this anime that goes by the name of I Parry Everything. A kid in the mountains has been training day in and day out non-stop by swinging his sword thousands of times until he can get stronger by parrying anything with one swing. When he thought he was ready, he goes to multiple schools to train and get enrolled into them, but ends up getting kicked out of every single one of them as he only managed to learn the basics and couldn't advance at all. Although the instructors didn't really see his potential, the basics he had learned were all mastered to their full potential, and with the power of being blessed to wield a great sword, parry opponents with ease, and move so fast, he's pretty much a powerhouse from the get-go. This here is one of those kicked from the hero's party anime because the party believed one of their members was weak in combat and they didn't really need him. Beast Tamer tells the epic story of how a guy with the Beast Tamer class, a class that is said to be weak and only controls animals by telling them what to do and is not really useful in battle at all. The party kicked out the Beast Tamer and now he was on his own, but have no fear because he did manage to recruit 2 members into his own party of S-rank species of a dragon folk and also a cat spirit who will help him in battle. Oh, and one more thing, he did also go back to the party, his old party, and gave them a good lesson that they will never forget, which was so satisfying to watch. Guess what, boys and girls? The D-rank hero was kicked out because all the other members surpassed him in strength and power. They don't need weaklings anymore. Throw this man out. But Red decides to pretty much call it his retirement period and open up his own pharmacy in the countryside and help people who are in need through medicine. But not long before his lover Rid joins him to live by his side, although one thing they both can't really forget because their heroic duties aren't yet over, and when the time comes for both of them to be called back, they might not even have a choice but to save the world from evil. Now imagine a powerful party that consists of different classes that do raids, because this is a pretty cool series worth checking out in my opinion. Well, this is an anime about the tank named Rud, a beast of a warrior that protects his team from danger, and although the team leader saw weakness for some reason in Rud after the party failed at a raid, and in the end, Rud was kicked out, and he decides to return to his hometown to his overly obsessed sister to live in peace, but it turns out that his other members joined with him because they were fed up with the leader who mistakenly kicked out the tank whom they really needed in the end during the raids. But it turns out Rud had a very secret skill he never even knew about, which was so damn overpowered. It kind of makes him invincible and, would help out his party even more if they, didn't kick him out in the end. Alright, now this is not the best anime, but it's decent enough to be recommended so you all can give it a try at the very least. The healer who was banished from his party is in fact the strongest. But the only thing is, The guy is not a healer, but a damaged machine who has been hiding his overpowered talent from his original party who kicked him out for some reason. He meets a cute-looking martial arts girl who recruits him to, for dungeons and all that, and later discovers just how overpowered he really is. But everyone really doesn't know how strong he is and only know him for a weak loser of a healer he is, which results in people staying away from him and even recruiting him on the team. Ningen Fushi is a very underrated fantasy anime where a group of characters face issues by either getting kicked out, betrayed, or are searching for a different team to join for a fresh new start.
絡み酒ですか。
お前聞いてるか。
はいはい、聞いてますよ。
お前はな、だからさ。
One of the characters named Nick was actually kicked from his party because he was accused for his party's funds being so low, which resulted in him being all alone. But along with other people having a very similar issue, they meet each other at a bar and form a party together to work things out, get funds, and fight monsters, and cooperate in order to adapt to each other's weaknesses. In this fantasy world, the title of hero is the strongest that you can get in the rank table. While other classes such as Appraiser is the worst and the weakest, it actually so happens that our protagonist is an Appraiser and was treated like trash by his party, and ultimately, they just left him to die in the dungeon. However, we all know from past experience and other anime series just how good the appraisal skill really is at doing what it does best. He is the strongest as suggested by the title and can surprisingly still become a hero, which was his ultimate goal and dream. So, looks like you ended up at your favorite isekai anime called Arifureta. Honestly, it's a pretty damn good show in my opinion. A class was summoned to another world and need to find their way back home. And the main character, Nagumo, was the weakest in his class and couldn't really do much to help in battle. And as a result, one of his classmates betrayed him or kicked him out in the old-fashioned way of knocking him off of the bridge and sending him to the bottom dungeon levels. It was kill or be killed down there, and he did consume monster meat to survive, which then transformed him into the ultimate being capable of insane power. So this anime is actually more or less on the kicked out side and more on the left on his own because he was not really happy. UK was in an A-rank party, but his members treated him like a handyman of some sort, and because he's just the guy that does chores for them at the very least, and yeah, he just left. Soon though, he was invited to join a different party, lower level, but it consists of only girls of his former team members or his former students. That party actually has all his former students that he personally trained, and now he is teaming up with them to fight in dungeons. And it so happens that UK wields extraordinary magic and skill that makes him so overpowered that his previous party members couldn't even see in him. And finally, to recommend the last anime in today's video list, Failure Skill Nutmaster. Light and Lana both wanted to become adventurers so they could fight side by side eventually. In this world, there are fruit skills and only one can be eaten, where you get a random skill of some sort, but eating another fruit results in immediate death. But Lena receives the overpowered Sword Saint skill and was recruited into the hero's party immediately after eating the fruit. But meanwhile, Light got a farming related skill and was then kicked out of the church for being absolutely useless. However, Light discovers that he can eat as many fruits as he wanted and gain infinite skills because he is now immune to death. He's just so fucking special, I'm not gonna lie. But behold, an overpowered farmer who is prepared to return to side with Lena and achieve his dream of becoming an adventurer to be with her. That is the end of the video. You, my friend, are getting unkicked from my party because you are overpowered. See? I knew that from the start. I'm not kidding. I knew that from the start. But anyways, if you did enjoy, then please do drop a like to show your support and subscribe to stay notified of all my latest uploads here on YouTube. Take care, everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.